So, ano nararamdaman ni Iwo na yun? Ayun, at this point.
Kinakabahan si Iwo na kumbaga yung kaba na kasi nagpa-flashback sa kanya lahat yung gabi na kumbaga you will meet your father's killer eh. Parang all this time, parang all these years na you were tracking it down.
Ano ba nangyari?
Yun nga, yung naalala niya lang nung time na yun is nilagay siya nung tatay niya sa ilalim ng puno ng balete, and then all he heard was parang mga slashing, yung parang kasi parang may nag-aaway sa labas, tapos sinulat ko yun eh. Basta ang alam ko, akala ko nun, akala ko aswang. Kumbaga parang aswang yung alam kong pumatay sa kanya noon eh. Na nakita ko na lang siya na duguan, tapos
okay, wait lang. Hold that thought.
Okay.
I think this should be on stream. Okay, welcome back. We are back in Takipsilim. Brown out. We had a blackout here for a few minutes, and now we are back. And Peter's here again as well. So at this point, Iwo, can you describe to us what you remember of the night your father was killed?
At this point, Iwo is feeling very may halong kaba at saka lungkot. Kasi yun nga, nag-flashback sa kanya lahat yung nangyari sa kanila ng tatay niya. Kumbaga, years ago. Tandang-tanda niya yung gabing yun, hindi niya makakalimutan kasi yun yung gabing pinatay yung tatay niya. So, tinago siya ng tatay niya sa ilalim ng puno ng balete, while her father is fighting yung mga humahabol sa kanila nung gabing yun. Ang akala niya, o kumbaga ang naririnig lang niya is parang nasa utak niya or imagination niya nun, mga aswang yung kalaban ng tatay niya na humahabol sa kanila. Tapos nung medyo tumahimik na yung lugar, paligid, hinanap niya agad yung tatay niya. Only to find him kumbaga barely alive. Eventually, doon na siya binawian ng buhay. Ayun.
Do you remember where you were? anong town,
Um,
tinatanong ka ni ni pangalan nito ni Tito Felipe.
um, hindi ko maalala, medyo vague na yung memory kung basta ang natatandaan ko noon, meron kaming tinulungan. Kumbaga, may tinulungan kaming kapwa mambabarang sa isang liblib na sityo. Kumbaga, para siyang sa liblib yun na sityo.
Okay. Sitio is parang a ruin or bahay. Ano ba ang sitio? Sorry.
Mas maliit sa di ba kung ang barangay is may mga sabi mo 500 families. Yung
Okay.
mas maliit pa sa barangay. Parang isipin mo sa gitna ng forest, may isang
Okay, I get
pero
it.
Hindi siya.
So, what he found out while looking out on learning about what is happening in Manila, he hands you a newspaper, and dun sa front page yung newspaper, yung nagkaapoy sa St. Andres Bonifacio School, and many perished in the fire, and nandun yun, may mga pangalan at the end of the article. It shows the names of those who perished, those who survived, and pictures of those who are missing. So missing, meron picture dun si Ralph, si Maria, ikaw, si Laum. And then he continues that he found out that the creature that killed your father is still alive, pero nasa bundok siya sa Bohol.
Kalayo naman.
And you now have two chances to ask this two. Two chances, one chance to ask this two within this usapan within this meeting. Okay? So, roll investigate a mystery. Wait, before you roll, go ahead. Go.
11.
Okay, 11. Wait lang. Okay. At this time, you now may use, okay, finally, your act under pressure, which is the psychic event. You may uh, use sensitive to gain a impression of uh, of um, uh, ama or Tito Felipe, or you may be able to um, know ano to ano to, no wait, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. You now will use roll act under pressure, but use empath. Okay. I know, not empath. Sensitive pala. Sorry. Sensitive. Okay. And then, whatever happens here on this roll gets you to influence your questioning, your one question, your role for investigate a mystery. Okay.
So, whatever I roll dito sa sensitive, basically affects yung magiging outcome or kumbaga takbo ng scenario.
Yeah, it'll give you a it will you'll find out between ano to how these two people now are feeling, and maybe dun sa role mo, you'll find out which one you can push, which one you'll have to back down on, stuff like that, with your questioning later on.
Roll na ako.
Roll ka na.
Nine.
Ayan, 9. Okay. You gain a hazy impression about something important. They are withholding at this time the information of what type of supernatural creature is the one that attacked your father. Okay? They're withholding that fact. You now have, you rolled at 11 for investigate a mystery. So you can ask 2 general questions or 1 specific question.
Okay. So, they're withholding information regarding dun sa pumatay. Tama?
Okay, what's your question?
Tama ba? They're withholding information dun sa killer.
Dun sa type of
Creature or
creature.
Parang gano'n.
Kasi ikaw nag recreate ng scenario no.
Kumbaga sabi ko, ako lang nag-assume na baka aswang yun or what.
No, yeah. You assume ito sa naswang. And during nung nag-explain si Ama at nag-explain si Tito Felipe, wala siyang sinabi na kung aswang or what type of creature it is.
Pero, sorry, na-recall ko lang kasi before, nung pumunta kami nung yung mission sa yung dugo ng bundok. During that time, nabanggit kasi nila na hindi nila although medyo vague din or very general din yung answer nila. Pero kasi sabi nila noon, may alam yung tatay ko about sa mga danag. Kumbaga, very crucial kasing information na alam niya yung fact na may anak. Kumbaga, may there is an existing being na half danag, half human.
Yes.
So, I would assume na danag yun.
Okay. You are assuming it's a danag.
Okay. Kumbaga, yun na lang yung kumbaga newfound information ko lang. Kumbaga recently ko lang din nalaman kasi nga yung mission ko with dati kay Ral. I have one general question or specific question, diba?
Two general questions, one specific question.
Sige, hindi ko alam kung general or specific. Does killing that creature may maitutulong ba yung pagpatay ko dun sa creature na yon with the current dilemma? Kumbaga, sa sitwasyon ngayon with Ralph, may maitutulong ba yung pagpatay ko sa kung ano mang creature yun?
Who are you asking?
Wait, ang nagsabi ng wait lang, si Tito Philippine nagsabi sa akin na alam na nila kung sino yung ano, di ba? Tama ba?
Yes.
Siya na lang. Yung question na to
If it's important,
may significant, kumbaga may significance ba pag pinatay ko, will I gain, or parang ganon, may significance ba sa task at hand or parang mission ngayon? Kasi ang mission namin is basically mag-training para sa darating na parang war with Ralph. So may
no,
relevance.
They didn't say it was with Ralph. May sinabi ba silang tungkol kay Ralph?
Wala naman. Pero, di ba, parang nung last time kasi is nakatakas nga si Ralph and war is brewing. So, yun lang yung mindset ko kasi nga, na kay Ralph na yung, kumbaga, lumakas pa si Ralph. Assume ko lang yun.
Na it's a war with Ralph.
Oo.
They never mentioned that. Again, you assumed.
Okay.
They are again. You feel that they are not giving you everything. There is a reason. There is this feeling that may tinatago sila. And you finally find out as you're thinking that si Tito Felipe answers that currently it is best that you become part of the tribe. it has always been a no, wait, let me rephrase that. I'm sorry.
Uh-uh.
No, it is not important. It's not important. Uh, it is not important to to the future or to what we are planning to do. But it is important to you, I believe, as a as a as a son, to find it to to be given closure with your father's killer, or the creature that killed your father, and to find out more of why he was killed. There are a lot of things that needs closure for you on your in your mind and in your heart.
Ayun, pwede bang yung tanong ko ngayon is, kumbaga, in general, kumbaga, nakatuon na sa kanilang dalawa?
Sige, sure. But it's a general question.
Okay, so, ayun. Well, alam ko na itanong ko na to dati. Pero bakit nga ba pinatay yung tatay ko? Kailangan kong malaman yung katotohanan.
Your father found out about a creature, an ancient creature, and he has been chased by many many other supernaturals. It tells your father was never siya naging violent. He was not part of the as part of the tribe of he was part of the tribe ng Bundok Lumawig, not because of his skills of fighting. It was his skills of his mind. You find out that your father was a researcher, like a in modern times he would be called a ano yun, the ones that dig up dinosaurs. Archaeologist, yes, he was an archaeologist. Okay, and that's why he was not able to completely defend himself against the creature that he found. He found out that this creature, the creature that he found was a creature that many other supernaturals, including in disgust, your father, your 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 uncle spits into the fire and it sparkles a little bit. He was being many supernaturals were after the same creature. They were after the knowledge of where the creature was. That includes Familia Garcia Familia Garcia, Familia de la Cruz. He was killed. He was he was killed because he had that knowledge. That's it.
Wala na akong question, no?
No, wala na. So now, um, so the night ends as you, Tito Felipe, and Ama discuss your final task, your final huli mong pagsusubok, and with reluctance, Tito Felipe and Tito Felipe uh, and Ama tells you it's best if Ulan and Apoy accompany you all the way to Bohol. And Ulan and um, you guys leave the next day. You gather your things and you see Ulan and Apoy ready for the trip. You look around. It seems that Tito Felipe left as soon as you finish your as soon as he finished his conversation with Ama, and while you were fixing your equipment or your stuff, umalis na siya. Okay? You were not able to ask where he went, pero sabi ni Ulan, she believes baka bumalik siya ng Baguio or he went straight back to Manila. And we now travel all the way to Clark and take the plane to Bohol. It takes you a few hours to get Bohol, uh, and you were given directions by Tito Felipe, and you finally find the sitio in one of the mountains of Bohol. Uh, the nearest town would be almost 4 hours walk. Uh, Mostly because it was overgrown already. Lahat ng ano to, lahat ng pathways has been overgrown, and it was very high up in the mountains. Nasa loob-looban mountainside. As you arrive around midday, mid afternoon, and you are si Ulan was told by by Tito Felipe to meet up with a local, and that is where you will be staying for the night, for the next few days. And you guys rest, but Apoy tells you that maybe you should rest. The travel was very long, but you and Ulan believe that you can rest when the creature is captured. And you are now given free reign to ask questions around the town. And now you are going to roll investigate a mystery. And you may also use act under pressure to your you have now your you may use your sensitive and empath. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Oh,
Ayun.
did you hear what I said?
Narinig ko.
Okay. You should tell me kung narinig mo or not para
Sorry. Nade-delay lang siguro.
Okay.
So, ayun. Nasa sitio na kami kung saan yun yung before, yung sitio na pinanggalingan ko din before, or pinanggalingan, yung kung saan nangyari.
Saan nangyari?
Ng tatay ko. Okay. And then, nakasettle na rin kami sa parang pag-i-stayan namin. Tama, di ba?
Mm-hmm.
May sumalubong ba sa amin?
May sumalubong na local sa inyo. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to simulate you asking around.
Okay.
So you don't have to role play that. You need to roll investigate a mystery.
Magagamit ko na ba yung fellow believer dito?
Yes, a fellow believer. What is that again? Yes.
Sige, mag-roll na lang muna ako ng under pressure para i-sense kung yun, kumbaga parang i-sense if there's something wrong sa paligid, parang ganon.
Is this the empath or the sensitive?
Sensitive. Sensitive.
Okay.
Ay,
You heal na your harm, ah. Don't forget.
okay pala. Sorry. Okay.
What did you get? A 5. Oh. That's your
Ay,
don't
five
forget
ba?
that's your
Ay,
XP.
5.
On a miss, your brain makes contact with something dangerous.
So, delikado.
Right? Nope. That's not the you as you're walking around taking in the sights and asking questions, suddenly a wave of nausea hits you. Parang nahihilo ka and you buckle down to the ground. And it feels like there's this um, uh, uh, aura of evil, of not naman exactly evil. It was this power. You know, you're unsure. It's not good power. It's not evil power. It's just of strength
Dangerous.
and because and of danger. You're right, tama. Very strong sense of danger, and you feel that. Alam mo dun sa mga anime, pag nararamdaman nila yung bad guy, as ching,
Parang
nagkakaroon
may
sila
bloodlust.
nag-line. Diba?
Ay, parang bloodlust pa, hindi naman.
Hindi naman bloodlust yun na um, yes.
Kumbaga parang,
Yes.
okay.
It is.
Okay, so, kasama ko si Ulan tsaka si Apoy. Apoy, tama.
Yes.
Nandito sila sa akin. Kumbaga, okay. So, sinenyasan ko si Apoy at saka si
Okay.
Ulan, sabi ko.
Remember, did you roll for investigate a mystery na?
Ay, hindi pa pala. Sorry. Mag-investigate. Ayun, investigate a mystery.
Yes, yes.
Ten.
Okay. So, as sa 10, 2 general question, 1 specific question.
No. Two specific question. Ay, 2 general questions pala.
Okay.
And ang tatanungin ko dito is local.
Okay. You can also ask Ulan and Apoy, ah. Kasi sila din nagtatanong eh.
Okay. Sige. Tatanungin ko si Ulan. Naramdaman mo ba yon? Alam mo ba kung ano yon? Parang tinanong ko si Ulan.
No, that's 2 questions.
Alam mo ba kung ano yon?
She sits down and she rubs her head, yun forehead niya. Oo, naramdaman ko. She looks at Ulan, who seems to be farther off, asking a local. Um, pero nakita mo na i-notice na parang nag-shake yung head niya, parang sumakit bigla. Pero he doesn't stop asking questions. He doesn't stop his conversation with the local.
Yung last question ko is, ito, gagamitin ko na yung as a fellow believer, a random bystander about can you tell me about can you tell me about one question na lang.
General question.
General question. So, may nangyayari bang strange or yun nga, out of ordinary dito? Ngayon, may na-notice ba kayong anything strange na nangyayari sa sitio na ito?
Oo. You're speaking to a you're speaking to a teenage girl, probably around your age. Oo. Meron Actually, alam mo, di ko dapat sabihin kahit kanino. Pero, alam mo ba, maraming mga unsolved deaths dito sa lugar namin. Marami na nga sa amin na umalis dito. Pero yung iba kasi, dito na lumaki, ayaw na nilang umalis. Parang yun, lola ko, ayaw niya na umalis kasi hindi niya na alam anong gagawin niya sa ibang lugar. Yung iba nakaalis na. Okay, what else? So I'm sorry. That concludes your asking around, no? You go around the town. There are several houses na hiwalay. You have to go up a small hill, down into a gorge. Ganun sa daan na to. Mga separate na bahay-bahay. Tapos yung mga ibang bahay, hindi pa mga mukhang bahay talaga or kubo. Some are made right beside a bunch of trees. So naka-camouflage nung trees. Mahirap sila lahat hanapin. So it takes you a few days. Okay, 3 days, 2 days to finally gather all the other information that you need. With Tito Felipe's info, he tells you that in the records so far na in the records konti pa lang tama nga maraming hindi nare-record na, na mga pangalan. Kasi the last death was uh, 19 that was recorded was 1910s pa ata, 1920s. So, sobrang tagal na. So, but you hear that with the people who start talking to you, parang it feels like almost half of the town is gone. And yung mga nagkukwento sa'yo, marami silang kilala na part of their family na missing or has not been found. So, hindi mailagay as a death. Pero maraming missing. Okay?
Mga unsolved cases.
Mga unsolved cases. Pero kasi siyempre, maliit lang yung sityo. The records are sabi ni Tito Felipe, di siya sure doon sa mga records, obviously, kasi luma na. So he did a trek of his own and he found a cave, and he believes that is where the creature stays. Pero he was not able to he waited for the creature, and he was sure it was the creature that killed your father. Still, he doesn't say there if what type of creature it is. That's the information niya. And you know, you ask the directions. You ask the directions. He sends you a parang GPS coordinates, and you follow it through fog and through the thick environment. Okay, it is already 12, Peter. So, okay ka pa?
Okay. Okay naman po, okay naman.
Okay, sige.
Inaabangan ko yung creature.
Okay. Ay. So, you finally, find a hole. It goes down. Hindi pa nga siya cave eh. Hindi siya ganun kalaki as a cave. Para lang siyang
parang burrow.
Or siyang burrow. Yeah. Tama. Tapos mga 7 feet high lang yun. Yung height hindi, actually smaller pa. Mga 5 feet. Mga 5 feet high lang yung width ng yung circumference niya. So, maliit. Okay, sabi ni Apoy, Iwo, ano kaya? Kayong dalawa ni Ulan pumasok. Teka, papasok pa tayo? He looks at you.
Sa tingin ko, Keeper question pala, sorry. Clarify ko lang. Pwede
Okay.
bang mag-transform into maraming insect tapos part of it may iwan sa labas and then part of it will come with us? Si Paul, is that possible?
You can separate them. Pero he becomes a
Mm.
smaller swarm. Kumbaga. Okay.
Kumbaga parang at least 3 kaming papasok.
Parang
Pero whatever happens
as a
outside.
swarm at the moment, he can only separate let's say during this time uh, two swarms. Pero isa lang buhay nila.
Kumbaga parang if something happens to the ones outside,
Aha.
mababawasan bigla pero ma-alert kami na parang something is going on
Oo,
outside
pero hindi na pwede mag-change si Paul
into something else. Kumbaga at the moment kasi nga parang na-damage yung other parts niya.
Oo. Or, hindi, kasi sineparate mo siya eh. So once you separate him, he can't change to one form. Gets mo? So it's not parang kumbaga he's stuck as a swarm until the two swarms meet each other.
Okay, so
Parang sineparate kasi yung katawan niya eh.
So ito na lang yung instructions ko. Paul, mas mabuting magbantay ka sa labas kasi kumbaga hindi kasi siya mapapansin agad kasi insect siya. And then
Okay.
whatever happens outside, bumalik ka sa akin at mag-report ka sa akin if something is happening outside.
Nandun siya sa ano to, nandun siya sa ano to, sa tabi mo. Syempre height mo lang siya, 'di ba? Ano to? 5 feet
Parang-
lang siya eh. Tama?
Hindi, ano lang siya. 1 foot lang.
1
siya.
foot lang pala,
Pwede ko
1 foot
siyang-
lang.
Either nasa palad ko siya or basta
He can change pala, no? He can change at
Size.
any time. Size. So, at this time, bug pa rin siya. Beetle pa rin siya. Yun yung favorite form niya. Yung beetle. And then, kita mo siya parang naka-boots siya. Naka-boots siya.
nakatayo siya.
Nakatayo siya. Naka-boots siya. Tapos, nakabahag siya. And, meron din siyang staff. Okay. And, nagsistretch siya. Tapos, alam mo yun, change ni Ant-Man. Pag nagsishrink siya, tapos lumalaki siya. Alam mo yun? Alam mo yung effect na ganun?
Oo.
Ganon mag-change bigla si Paul. So, lumaki siya. He became a parang siyang parang shoulder height mo. Okay. Kasing laki siya ng yung real life size na Ninja Turtle. Tapos may kita mo tattoo siyang gano'n, no? Dami niyang tattoo na na in alibata. Tapos nakabahag siya. Tapos, naka-boots. Ewan ko bakit siya naka-boots. Um, it just sounded funny kung naka-boots siya. Tapos, tapos meron siyang staff. Pero yung staff kasi parang para siyang malaking toothpick. Hindi siya toothpick pero para siyang malaking toothpick. Um, ano to? Na nag-smile si Ulap. Ay, nag-smile hindi si Ulap, si Apoy. Nag-smile si Apoy tapos alam mo yun, body handshake. Ayun, alam mo yun, parang mga football players.
Oo, yung may handshake na signature handshake.
Oh, may signature handshake sila. And then tapos nag-chest pump chest pa sila ganun. So nagkukwentuhan ulit sila ganun. You got it, boss.
Tsura niya, no?
And ayun, so si Ulan parang nakita mo siya parang nag-sigh lang siya tas just swaying her head side to side. Tapos tanong niya sa'yo, sino mauuna sa atin?
Ako na, mas mabuting ako na yung mauuna. Paul, ikaw na muna bahala dito sa labas. Balitaan mo kami if something happens.
Got it, boss. And you see him, he's sitting down on a large rock. Cross-leg siya. Tapos nakatingin siya dun sa malayo.
May picture niya ako.
Ha?
May picture ako ni Paul.
May picture ka?
Oo, pero wala lang boots. Pero may stuff na humanoid dito.
Sige. Nasaan?
Wait, send ko sa group. Natatawa lang ako kasi ang cute ni Paul. Grabe, best friend agad sila ni Apoy.
Well, apparently one of your trainings were using the strength of your guardian, si Paul. Kasi isa siya sa mga powers mo eh. And to train with him physically with the strongest with one of the strongest elite soldiers or brother pala. Sorry, they're not soldiers. Not elite. They're most learned brother. Ayun nga, si Apoy pala yun.
Apoy.
So, nag-battle sila. Palagi sila nagpa-battle. So, they enjoyed trying to fight each other. So, naging magkaibigan sila. So, as you enter the cave, and the cave is made out of moss. Pero na-notice mo na may ibang parts nung ground either sled on, alam mo yun, obviously na may dumaan, may tracks, pero hindi siya steps eh, parang something was dragged through this hole. notice that there are a lot of hands, fingerprints on the walls and on the top of the whole sides of the cave of the and you turn on your flashlight. Meron ka nung ano to, meron ka nung ilaw sa ulo. Yun,
Headlight.
headlight. Headlamp. I'm sorry. Headlamp.
Okay, okay.
So may headlamp ka. Kayong dalawa ni Ulan. As you go further down, go further down, for almost 10 to 15 minutes of almost intense ano ba tawag sa ano to sa pag nagki-caving ka, spelunking, tama ba ako?
Spelunk.
Intense spelunking. You get to find yourself in a parang large chamber. There is a rock in the middle of this chamber, and then there are several there's a single rock and several other things surrounding this rock. Okay, and you can hear droplets of rainwater of you are unsure if it's rainwater, of water dripping on some of the rocks that surround him, that surround the rock, and there's just whiff this also intense smell of rotting, rotted meat, okay? Dried blood, of fresh blood, okay? All over this cavern. And the cavern is not that high then. It's around 10 feet lang and 10 feet wide. So maliit lang din talaga siya. Okay? Parang nakikita lang glimpses nung headlamp, certain area. So wherever you face, yun lang nakikita mo. Finally, as you look around, what do you do?
Mag-ano ulit ako. Act under pressure. So sensitive. Yun nga.
Sensitive?
Sensitive.
Okay. Parang mahina yun mic mo.
Hello.
Yun.
Marinig ba?
Yan.
Malaki
Better.
Naririnig mo yung background music ko? Yung
Hindi.
Ulan. Lakas na ulan dito eh.
Ganun ba?
Feel ko tuloy parang nasa cave din ako.
Perfect. So, alam mo yun, howling, ganyan, na noise, yun ang naririnig mo. So, what do you do?
Yun nga, sensitive. Magro-roll na ako
Sige.
Eight.
Sensitive. Let's see, 8. Okay, you gain a hazy impression about something important. you are you are you are reminded. You remember the smell. When your dad was running and he held you in his arms, you remember this smell. It smells the same. What do you do? That's it. That's ay galing. Yep.
Cute.
Tapos ano to? May boots siya.
Boots lang yung kulang.
Tapos
At saka yung bahag.
bahag. Tapos yung mga tattoos. Tapos may headdress pa siya. May bandana siya.
Bandana. Parang gangster na gangster eh.
Oo,
Wala kung
tapos
gangster or...
Tapos, di ba may mga tattoo siya? Kahit yung horn niya, may mga etchings.
Pero parang overpowered tuloy itong si Paul McCartney.
Okay, next.
Yan.
What are we going to do? What are you gonna do?
Sinabihan ko si Ulan, Apoy. Eto na yun. Sabi ko. Naalala ko, hindi ako pwede magkamali. Ganito yung amoy na naranasan ko or naamoy ko nung panahon na kasama ko yung tatay ko. Hindi ako pwede magkamali. Malapit na tayo. Tapos, wag tayong maghiwa-hiwalay.
Sino sinasabihan mo?
Silang dalawa. Kasi iba ako yung nauuna. So, nandun sila sa likod.
Sino? Ang nasa likod lang si ano to? Si Ulan.
Kasi di ba sumama yung dalawa si
Hindi,
Ulan,
hindi
si
sila
Apoy.
sumama. Silang ang sabi nga ni Apoy, it's better na ano to? It's better na maiwan siya sa labas.
Ang kasama niya ngayon doon,
Si
so
Paul.
dalawa lang kami ni Ulan. Okay. Para kung sakaling may mangyari.
Oo, tama.
Ako si
Tama.
Paul lang papasok. Sige, tama. Ayun, sinabi ako si Ulan. Huwag kang lalayo. Malapit na, ito na yun. Hindi ako pwede magkamali. Tapos, we go deeper dun sa parang small cave.
Okay.
Deeper inside. Still we're trying to look for anything.
Yun nga nakita nyo. Yung rock dun sa gitna. That's the end.
So walang tao dun.
This... No, what are you doing? What are you doing?
We're trying to search. Parang yung, di ba, yung kung ano lang yung nakailaw. Yun lang yung makikita namin. So we're trying to search for the area. Since gaano kataas? Nakayuko ba kami or pwede naman kaming tumayo?
No.
We're searching.
You guys are ano to? Are crouched.
Okay, so
and
may crevices ba?
And wait lang. Okay, so I have you're climbing down and you finally get it seems to be the end of the burrow. At the end of the burrow is a rock. Okay? A solitary rock, and around it are several objects. Okay? That surrounds this solitary rock. The end is around only 10 feet high. 10 feet high and 10 feet wide. So it's very, very small. And both you and Ulan enter this very small chamber, and both of you are bending down, almost down to your shoulders, and uh, to ano to, as you enter the chamber nga, and um uh, you start to look around. Okay. Uh, okay. Um, at this point, okay, you may roll investigate a mystery or read a bad situation.
Okay. Read the bad... yun pala, magre-read the bad situation na ako.
Okay. Okay na?
Ito na. 9.
Wait lang. Okay, 9. Read a bad situation. Okay,
Hold
9,
one.
you hold 1.
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
Yes. The things that are surrounding the rock, the solitary rock, that is slowly dripped on by a parang maliit na butas on the ceiling. Tapos nagdi-drip siya. Nagdi-drip. And it hits the rock. So it makes it wet. And you notice now with all the blood and ganyan, the color of the rock has changed parang black na reddish in some parts. And the things around the rock itself are
Alive?
bones. Some are bones and some are body parts. Human body parts. And it is deep enough. Feels like yung nakikita mo right now, yung rock and whatever objects that are beside it. It feels like meron that those bones and those bodies actually fill up a hole, and you are unsure how deep that hole goes. As you start walking around, you notice there are already bones and bodies overflowing at the top of your ankles. Okay? As you move in deeper, parang nagiging deeper yun, parang dumadami yun yung bodies, and you're slowly para siyang parang
sea of...
parang sea of bodies siya, parang a big small pool of bodies, bones, rotting flesh, sometimes meron pang daga, There are several types of animals.
Uh,
And you believe something can stay inside that hole.
parang there's something inside, no?
Ano yan?
Parang is there something inside the
That,
hole,
um,
aside from the bodies?
what, ano na role mo?
9.
9. Nine. Oh, hold 1 ka lang.
Ay, oo pala. Sorry. So, yun. What happens next na?
Okay. So, that's your question lang, no? Hold 1 eh.
Parang what
Tama.
happens-
Wait lang. Okay, so ayan. Yan si ano to? Si Paul McCartney. Okay. So that is Paul McCartney. Okay. Uh, yan. Yan si Paul McCartney. Okay, so uh, slowly a creature ano to steps out from ano to from not naman steps out na parang they crawl up a lone blood soaked rock in the middle of the chamber. It is a humanoid, but its body has now completely changed features. You've seen this before, where this seems to be a lot more intense. It is almost how Lila changes into a Danag. And the creature turns its neck a little bit. Parang doesn't move its body, pero yung neck niya parang completely sideways na siya, ganun. And looks at you. And you feel this nausea And its eyes, ano to? Its eyes, its eyes widen. And then, suddenly, its eyes, ano to? Narrows. Parang somehow it understands. Somehow, it knows something. What do you do?
Um, sige, mag-ano na lang ako. Empath.
Okay, roll.
To feel the emotions of something. Kasi di ba it's in front of me na.
Yes,
Sa amin, okay.
it is 3 feet from you.
Pero, kumbaga, na-sense na niya na nandun na kami.
Oo. You are now, ano to, you are now waist high. More than waist high siguro. Chest high na. Chest high. Dun sa chamber. So ganun kadaming ano to? Ganun kadaming creatures, bones or whatever is there in that little hole.
Okay, ito. 8.
An 8. You gain a hazy impression of their current emotional state and intentions. It's not hungry. It's curious.
Curious. Siguro at this point, Ibo feels confused. Kasi parang all this time he was ready na baka hostile to or it might suddenly attack them kasi nga 'di ba nung earlier is nakaramdam siya ng it is dangerous, parang ganon.
Mhm.
So we tried to sinubukan namin lumapit pa.
You'll be facing it face to face na. Kasi you are currently 3 feet away from it.
3 feet away na lang pala. Okay.
All you see now is its face because you're facing it face to face and parts of its body. Pero kasi si Ulan yun meron second headlamp eh. So tumitingin-tingin siya around pero nung nakita niya na yung creature, hindi na siya gumagalaw. Nakatutok din siya dun sa creature. Kaya nakikita niyo yung full form ng creature.
Sige, magre-read the bad situation ako ulit.
Okay?
Pero 'di ba sabi mo nga hindi yung read the bad situation, hindi lang siya naka-limit sa questions dito, right? Or depende?
No, I think what we talked about was investigate a mystery.
Okay.
Ginagamit na natin yung investigate a mystery instead of the one where you ask questions. Dito sa read a bad situation, eto pa rin yung questions mo.
Okay, sige. Investigate a mystery na ako.
Okay. Pero investigate a mystery, that means you're not going to talk to it at this very moment. So this means it will parang you're looking around, you're searching around the area. You're taking time
It is
to
a danag, right?
Huh?
It is a danag. na-confirm ko na ba na danag? Yun kasi yung, yun yung try, yun yung
Well,
sinusunod. Kasi based from the description
the
kanina.
creature looks like a danag. But it's something older. Something different. So hindi ka, you're sure it's a danag, pero you're not sure what
Kind of danag.
and
Tama ba?
and you have a question in your mind. Are there different types of danag?
Yun din eh. Kasi,
Okay.
hindi ko alam eh. Kasi, wala akong access sa information na yun eh. Yung different types of danag.
You don't have that. So,
wala siyang,
right
wala
now,
siyang
you know, danag siya.
And then one more thing is,
Pwede kang lapit ka pa dun sa mic.
okay, so yun
Yun.
nga, I will use investigate a mystery kung, or, kasi gusto kong makipag-communicate. Nakaka-communicate ba yung creature? Kasi it's curious eh. Hindi kasi siya...
I don't know.
Yun nga eh.
I don't know. What do you think? I gave you all the So, what are you doing? Investigate a mystery or read a bad situation?
Wait.
What do you want to do ba?
Ito na lang. I want to know if we can communicate with that creature. Kasi at this point, I'm confused kasi nga.
Well, at this
doing anything.
ngayon, at this point, right now, okay? Right now, you can ask it. You can try asking it.
Okay.
So actually, that is para hindi ka mahirapan.
Investigate a mystery.
Investigate a mystery. Okay, so this now gives you a guideline on the questioning that you are going to do.
Yun din kasi
sige, roll ka na.
Mag-hello nga lang sana ako kanina eh. Pero
sige.
parang inappropriate. Wow. Medyo generous. At least give mo mama ng 7.
Oh my God. So hold 1.
Okay.
I know. I'm sorry. We are now here sa investigate a mystery. What did you get?
8.
So one general question. Right?
Okay.
But based on how you are investigating, I will tell you honestly and with reasonable detail what you discover.
Itong flexible alternative.
Flexible alternative. Ito yung pinag-usapan natin.
Okay.
Wala ka ng choices. Dito na tayo sa investigate flexible alternative.
Who are you? Yun, parang ganun. What are you? Parang in-explain ko na nasa sense ko or parang alam ko danag ka pero you're something far more different from that.
Ikaw ay isang mambabarang. Tama ba ako?
Tama.
It
Isa nga akong mambabarang.
it licks its lips. You notice na parang ah parang nawawalan na siya ng buhok. Na para siya may alam mo yung pag yung mga sa movies yun itsura ng zombie. Wala na yung hair nila. Ganyan. Parang ganyan yung itsura niya. Ano sagot mo sa kanya?
Oo. Isa nga akong mambabarang. At
He
ko alam.
sits up. Alam mo yun how a cat sits up or a dog. Ganun siya. Tapos nakikita mo na yung legs niya or ano to, full of blood, cake blood. It's dark. Its legs have contorted and apparently it still has its male parts. And it sits up. Matagal na akong hindi nakakapag kausap sa ibang sa isang mambabarang. Ako si Prinsipe Crisostomo. Okay ka lang dyan?
Sabi ko na nga ba eh, kaya ako sinisigurado ko. Sige nga. Wala lang. Na-excite lang ako. Ang galing. Okay, sige. Continue.
Ayun lang. That's what he
Sabi
says.
ko na nga ba eh. Kaya sinisigurado ko kung kailangan ko bang patayin o hindi. Tinatanong ko kanina. Okay, sige.
We can discuss later.
Discuss later na lang. Galing. Sabi ko na relevant. May important. Okay.
Okay.
Nagulat ako eh. Nagulat si Iwo. Hala. Hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin ko. Sa isip-isip ni Iwo, paano to? Hindi ako nagkakamali si Prinsipe Crisostomo. Ang tatay, ni Lila. Ngayon,
How do you know that?
Prinsipe Crisostomo. Nabanggit kasi 'di ba anong tawag na doon? Nabanggit na ni kunento na ni Lila eh.
Kunento na ni Lila sa'yo.
Oo, kasi prinsipe siya eh, or parang kasi 'di ba sa akin nang galing information na yung anak ni prinsipe, yung prophecy na anak ng isang danag, nagkaroon nga ng anak si Prinsipe Crisostomo sa labas. Ayun. Okay. So yun.
Okay. So what do you do?
Prinsipe Crisostomo.
Pero yung ulo niya, naka-sideways pa rin parang pusa.
Parang hindi naman siya detached or parang ano lang kasi. Hindi naman siya detached, no?
What do you mean detached?
Yung parang naka-sideways, lopsided na, parang gano'n.
No. Think of it like a owl. Yung ulo niya.
Kasi nga curious, tapos nakatingin lang siya.
Oo, think of it's resting its head on its left shoulder, and it's looking at you.
Okay. Bago ang lahat, Prinsipe Crisostomo, may naalala ka bang mambabarang na pumunta dito ilang taon nang nakakalipas?
Uh, he he doesn't answer. So now, do you force him to answer? Do you manipulate him into answering you? Or do you let it be?
I let it be, tapos pinalo-upan ko na lang ulit ang isa pang question. Hindi mo ba alam naalala mo ba yung pinatay mong pambabarang? May naalala ka bang pinatay mong mambabarang?
You see him, he parang nag-normal yung ulo niya ganyan. Bumalik na in full attention to you. And it's taken aback with your question. And I am not the one to blame. Ano to? I am the one to blame.
Tapos
For a mambabarang that I met years before. I smell his blood on you. I smell his blood in you. He is your father.
Ako nga.
I apologize for your father's death. I did not have control of my own body. And do you have something to say to him as his head suddenly goes back to the same questionable question, parang curious look where he has his head on his shoulder, on his left shoulder.
Tapos medyo na-overcome na ng emotions kasi finally yun nga yung creature na hinahanap niya matagal na nahanap niya, and there it was, saying sorry. So sinabi na lang niya, yung mambabarang na pinatay mo, yung anak na inaiwanan niya, ako yun ngayon. Tapos hihingi ka ng tawad, ilang taon na ang nakalipas, ano nang gagawin ko?
He swipes at you. Long arm. It's very long, elongated arm. Makes a swipe for your chest.
Attack.
It as it does that, it shouts, it ano to, it it murmurs. Tapusin na natin to. And he attacks you.
Ay, Diyos ko.
Roll act under pressure.
Kala ko roll for initiative. So,
Walang initiative to.
so utak ko lang. Ano ba yan? Dami ko pang itatanong eh. Nasaan na yun? Act under pressure. Eight. Ano ba? Wow! Anong meron?
What the-
Okay, 8.
Wow! Okay, rolls ba na yun ah?
Kaya nga ay 9. Di nagkakalayo. 10.
Okay,
Hindi natin yun.
you get a 9, right?
8.
An 8. Ay, price to pay. Worst outcome. Take 1 harm. What do you do? Behind you is beside you is Ulan. And the place is so cramped. Okay, the place is so cramped. Hindi mo ma-draw yun sword mo, ayun, weapon mo. You have choices of weapons, by the way.
Oo.
What weapons did you take?
Ano na lang, anong tawag doon? Punyal. Parang nag-stick na ako sa melee weapons eh, kasi
Okay, just change it here.
tanggalin ko na lang. Small knife.
And you have what else? Meron ka pa ba? That's it?
Yung ano na lang, yung parang martial arts. Yung unarmed.
So small knife lang. So, ano to?
Small knife lang talaga yung self-defense.
Okay. Yes. You have a small knife, and then see Ulan. She was able to take out one of her balisongs. Pero you guys are so close to each other, almost nagrarub. You have your back, half of your shoulder on her shoulder. Okay?
So parang cramped up talaga yun.
Oo, cramped na. And the creature is it's right there. Ano to? Kumbaga, it's like 3 feet away from you.
Pag lumapit pa ba kami, mas maluwag dun sa area niya?
Hindi. Eto na yung pinakamaluwag.
Bakit kailangan mong gawin to? Ba't kailangan mong gawin yun? Sinong, sinong may pakana nito?
So,
Isang tanong, kumbaga hindi ko muna siya atakin.
okay. Okay.
Hindi ako mag-give some ass. Kumbaga parang I was trying to listen out pa rin sa akin.
Oh, now you have to roll manipulate someone.
With someone.
What'd you get?
10.
Okay, on a 10 plus, normal person tayo.
Person. Okay.
They'll do it for the reason you gave it. You gave them. If you ask too much, they'll tell you meaning will take blah blah blah. Okay. What do you tell it to do? Do you just ask it questions and hopefully it is smart enough or it cares enough to stop?
Oo.
Okay.
Ayaw, kumbaga, sabi yung towards na ayaw naming, hindi ko na gustong saktan ka. Wala na yung urge, wala na sa puso kong saktan ka. Gusto ko na lang malaman yung katotohanan.
Sige, ask your question.
Bakit, ayun, sino ang, bakit kailangan mong gawin yun? Ba't kailangan mong patayin ng tatay ko?
He moves towards you right beside your face. So face to face kayo, parang inches na lang yun mga yun tip ng nose ninyo, inches na lang. He tells you that your father and some others had information of where I was. And I had to destroy them to save my son.
Okay, ito. Statement na lang siya. Kumbaga, rebut dun sa sinabi niya. Kumbaga, kaibigan namin ng anak, kaibigan ko ang anak mo at ligtas siya. Si Lila.
He attacks you. What do you do? He tries to bite your ear.
Sige, kick some ass na. Magpa-fight back na ako. Pero hindi naman niya ako napuruhan, no?
Ha?
Hindi niya, it tries to bite me, right?
Yeah. So, kick some ass. No, your choice is kick some ass. So, you can push him away. You can do that without damaging, without harming it. You know? That's called act under pressure. You can also uh, you can back up, you know. That's all act under pressure. If you don't want to hurt it, okay, you have to use act under pressure. You have
Okay,
to
sige.
try to get away from it as much as you
I'll
can.
try. Okay.
Or else,
Yun
if you
lang.
don't, it just keep on attacking you, and you'll eventually have to harm it.
Act under pressure. I'll back away.
Okay? What'd you get?
5.
Yan na. When one of the
Sabi
Okay.
ko na kaya ako nakabahan sa mga magagandang rolls kanina eh.
Okay. Um where we kick some ass, you get a 5. Um he is now biting on your ear. Take 1 harm. And
Si Ulan ba hindi umaatake? Ay,
nasa taas sila. Nasa taas. Si Ulan nasa likod
nasa
mo.
likod ko pa.
Okay? Um, what do you do?
Um, sasab
You notice si Ulan parang um, she's having a hard time to move around. So, she's waiting for
instructions.
for an instruction from you.
Um, we try to go back out.
Um, you are now blocking the hole. Kayong dalawa. Kumpul-kumpul na kayo eh.
Oo.
Behind you is Ulan, tapos ikaw, tapos si Prinsipe Crisostomo on top of you. So the hole is blocked unless you tell Ulan to go up.
Sige, nasabihan ko muna kay Prinsipe Crisostomo,
He's biting on he's
biting your ear.
he's
Ay, oo nga pala.
biting your ear.
Ulan, sinabihan ko si Ulan na, Ulan, lumabas ka muna para makalabas tayo.
Hindi. Mamatay ka dito. Roll manipulate someone.
Ayun.
Wow.
Pag di kailangan, ang taas.
Okay, okay, they'll need she'll do it. Okay. Okay. So she climbs, you notice her, you notice she climbs behind you. You know, going up through the hole. Now there is a may agwat na dun sa hole as si Ulan goes up. You are now alone in that little hole. With Principe Crisostomo, which you know by now is a Danag. No, which is obviously now a Danag.
Okay. I act under pressure para i-push away si Principe Crisostomo.
Without damaging him.
Oo. I'm still going to try to reason out sa kanya.
Roll! What'd you get?
7. Putin.
Okay. Worst outcome. You lose your left ear. And you get to push Crisostomo back further on sa end ng chamber, a very small chamber, and it spits out your ear.
Wow, choosy ka pa.
Take 1 harm.
Ala! Sige! Oh God.
Okay.
Crisostomo.
Di ba meron kang meron kang tinanong? Meron kang sinabi?
Yung sinabi ko kanina na
Sige. Anong sinabi? Anong sinabi mo?
kaibigan ko ang anak mo, ligtas siya. Hindi mo kailangan gawin ito.
Alright. Roll. Manipulate someone.
Okay.
What did you get?
8.
An 8.
Buti naman.
Okay. What are you telling it to stop?
Oo, hindi niya kailangang atakihin ako kasi niya. Kaibigan ko yung anak niya at ligtas siya.
He tells you he paces around the rock.
Pwede pa magdagdag.
Sige na. Sige, go. Sige.
Okay. Hindi na siya parte ng propesiya. Oh my God.
He tells you
Nakahinga ako dun.
he starts to cry. Okay? And he tells you that as long as I am still alive, my son might be always be in danger.
Kung
I did not
nakita
mean
mo,
to um, hindi ko he tells you hindi niya plano na patayin yung tatay mo. At hindi niya din ginawa niya yon, pero hindi niya desisyon. Malalaman ng malalaman ng anak ko yan. Hindi ako pwede mabuhay. You notice he backs up a little bit, and you see his arm moving backwards. You know he will attack again. What do you do?
ano ulit yun? So, yung statement niya is, hindi pwedeng, hanggat nandyan siya, nasa panganib ng anak niya, hindi pwedeng malaman ng anak niya na pinatay niya yung tatay ko.
Ano yan? I'm sorry?
I mean, ano na yung, so yung naintindihan ko is, hindi, hanggat nabubuhay siya, nasa panganib yung anak niya.
Oo.
And hindi pwedeng malaman ng anak niya na buhay pa siya.
Oo.
Sige, tinawag ko si...
Hindi mo... Okay, you shout at her, at Ulan,
si Paul.
because
Okay, Ulan.
ready na umatake si Crisostomo. So,
Oo. So, tinawag ko na din si Paul pala.
okay.
Kumbaga parang naintindihan ko na yung gravity ng situation.
And
yun.
you don't defend yourself. You just shout.
I defend myself
Ano
na rin.
gagawin
Nag-ready
mo?
na rin ako. Mag-ano na ako.
Because if you just shout, yun na yung action mo.
Kakaroon ng opportunity. Okay. Kick some ass na ako.
Okay.
Mag-kick some ass na ako.
Okay.
May na-realize lang.
Kasi yung isang question na yun, libre eh.
So, 7.
7. Kick some ass. I'm sorry. Okay, 7. Both of you inflict harm on each other. The amount of harm is based on established dangers in the game. It moves forward. And how do you defend yourself?
Hawak ko yung left or right ear. Tanggal.
Left.
Okay, so hawak ko yung left ear ko. Tapos, inano ko yung, in-unsheath ko yung small dagger, yung punyal, tapos in-slash ko forward. Kumbaga, parang I tried to deflect yung attack niya.
Okay.
In response dun sa attack niya, parang gano'n. Kasi hindi ako masyado makagalaw, tapos nagdudugo pa yung left ear ko eh.
Okay, how much damage do you do?
2 damage, 2 harm, ignoring armor.
2 harm? Ignoring armor?
2 harm. Kasi may aim for the weak spot, tsaka yung effect ng smite.
You notice your knife impacts on its chest. And the place is so crowded. Your hand gets pushed back into a rock. Okay? So it felt like Chrysostomo, you're able to hit Chrysostomo right in the chest, and then with the force of his jump towards you, your arm swinged up. Okay, and you notice how light Chrysostomo is, and your arm slams into the ceiling of the chamber, almost like doubling the damage of the knife on Chrysostomo's chest. Chrysostomo, the whole body of Chrysostomo slumps on top of your body. Okay? You feel the blood, his breath on your face. He sits up. He tries to sit up. And kakagatin ka ulit.
Hindi ko natawag si Paul, no?
Hindi.
Hindi ba bumalik si Paul?
How much damage do you have?
1 damage pa. Okay. I'm dying.
What do you do?
Tatawagin ko si Paul. To defend me. Or, wait lang. Ayun, si Paul. Tatawagin ko si Paul.
Okay.
To turn into hundreds or parang thousands of centipede para ma-restrain si Chrysostomo.
Wait lang.
Kasi light lang si eh.
What do you say as you summon Paul?
Paul, mag-anyong centipede ka. Balutin mo yung buong katawan ni Chrysostomo para di siya makagalaw.
He roll act under pressure.
Nice!
A what?
One. One. Pumiyok.
Um, here you feel this rumbling, and there's this parang vacuum of air as you hear thousands of clicking noises. Okay, and something slimy passes you on your right side. So quick, it slams into the body of Crisostomo. You don't see actually what's happening at the moment, as your headlamp is just swinging all over the place. You just see parang glimpses. You're also trying to cover your face. There's dust and rock that are are ang tawag doon, slowly silang yun parang the chamber's foundations start to shake and weaken as you hear the clicking. Alam mo yun, parang dalawang ngipin na 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 click together, parang ganyan. Narinig mo?
Mm-mm.
um, Hundreds of those. Fix your headlamp, and you see this centipedes are cocooned are around the body of Crisostomo. You actually don't see him anymore. It's just like this cocoon of centipedes. You notice you do not have the knife in your hand. What do you do?
What can I do? Wala na yung knife.
Wala yung knife sa kamay mo.
Sige, ganun pa rin. I try to attack it with bare hands na.
Yeah, pero it's it's si Paul is wrapped around it.
Oo.
So it's not moving.
Okay, so yun, parang tatalon ako. Ay, hindi man tatalon.
Pero you can hear the foundations of the chamber cracking.
Okay. Sige,
What do you do?
tawag na doon. Since naka naman siya, naka centipede form naman siya ngayon. Lalabas na ako agad kasi yun na pala na-realize ko na magfo-fall na yung parang one last statement ko siguro. Kung
Okay.
nakita mo lang kung gaano kalakas, kung nakita mo lang kung gaano kabuting tao at katatag ni Tila ngayon.
No,
Sigurado ako magiging proud ka. Tapos, madali na akong umakyat pataas.
So, anong gagawin
Habang
ni Paul dun sa...
i-hold down lang niya.
And then,
since naka-centipede form siya, pwede namang mag-hukay yun pataas eh. After...
so, i-release niya din si Crisostomo.
Oo, eventually, i-release niya na din. Tapos, hahabol na siya pa alis. Make sure na nag-fall yung, nag-fall apart eh. Kasi basically, mababaon na siya doon eh.
As you say this, you mentally say this, you say this to ano to, you say this to Paul.
Ay, Paul pala.
And you notice now blood flowing all around the cocoon, or sipping through the cracks between the centipedes. The centipedes are not crushing anything. It's just wrapped around the body. Pero nagli-leak of blood. And you start climbing out. Roll act under pressure.
Then,
Nice.
ay,
You leave the cave, and you leave the burrow. And as soon as you leave the burrow, as you're desperately now climbing out, slowly the cave behind you starts to crumble, and hear a loud crash as the hole is plugged, or is covered now rock and sand and earth, rock and earth. Paul leaves the cave in small centipede form. And slowly, parang ano to, parang mga langgam na umalis para sa butas. So, marami silang ganun. They slowly form back to Paul. But you notice Paul, his body is full of blood. You are unsure of whose blood this is, because there was so much blood. There was so much rotting bodies, dried blood, water, and even rotten flesh. You don't want to think of it, but you know that you left your knife in that cave with Lila's father. With Principe Crisostomo. Okay ka lang?
nakakapagod.
You reach You reach uh, um, Ulan and Apoy. They were able to bandage you up. You reach the village, and in the village, waiting for you is um, Tito Felipe. You slump down. I know you wake up again. You find yourself in a cot. In ano to? And all your things are on the side. And you feel a parang pressure over your head and over your face. You touch it, it feels like bandages. Um, you hear voices out of your room, the other side of your room, other side of the door. Sounds like a yun lang. You're still unsure what the voices or what it feels like, what these voices are feeling. Well, you can roll. I'll let you roll so I can describe it to you better.
There are voices.
Yeah, on the other side of the door. Roll sensitive.
So, roll, no?
Sensitive or empath. I can't hear you. Parang layo mo sa mic.
Ay, sorry. So, yung empath kasi,
In front of you lang pala.
In front of you.
Okay.
So,
Ose.
ang magagamit ko lang dito is,
Sensitive.
yeah, sensitive
Okay.
lang.
8. Okay.
Bumalik na sa dati.
You gain a hazy impression about something important. You hear the name Laum. What do you do?
Si Laum.
Yes, the name of Laum.
Tinawag ko, sumigaw, sinubukan kong sumigaw. Laum, ikaw ba yan?
The door opens and Apoy enters. Iwo, kamusta ka na?
Anong meron? Anong nangyayari? Andyan ba sila,
Wala siya dito. Mas mabuti na siguro kung malakas ka na siguro. Kailangan kang kausapin ni Tito Felipe. May pinag-uusapan kami. He opens the door for you. and uh, the ambient light, the yellow ambient light, flickering yellow ambient light of a campfire greets you. And there you are. If you walk through the door, you see a large campfire, and seated around it are Ulan and Tito Felipe. So si Tito Felipe, you notice that Tito Felipe's last words were, ang balita, si Laum na yon ang ama ng mga guardians at ang leader ng Abihi. You see Ulan, she seems surprised, and they both look at you as you enter. Oh, Iwo, upo ka. Kailangan mo ba ng, sabi ni Tito Felipe, kailangan mo ba ng makakain, may inom?
Okay lang po ako. Ano na pong nangyayari? Ilang araw na akong walang malay.
Mga 2 gabi na. Salamat at nakabangon ka na. Kailangan kong he tells you what is happening in Manila. He tells you that Laum, your friend, has now become the leader, the father of the Guardians. He also is now the team leader of a elite squad of ano sila? Ng mga mandadawak. Okay. And they have been searching high and low for Ralph, and apparently they are very close to find out where Ralph is. I think it is time that you return back in Manila. He stands up, but before the end, before you travel and meet the crisis, the trouble head on, he takes out a small box with a inside. He opens it. It's a wooden box. It has a ink bottle and a traditional tattoo needle. Okay. Yung kagaya ni Wang Ud. He sits you down. He chants a little bit of alibata. He pierces a little bit of his he pierces his stomach and blood comes out, and he says, I pledge myself as a brother to one of our family. He's now I will be there to defend him, fight for him, and make and that's it. Yun lang. Sorry. Protect, help, as a brother. And blood flows through his thumb. It enters the container of ink. He takes your left hand, pierces your thumb, and you say the same things. You recite the pledge to be part of the tribo, part of the tribe of the Bundok Lumawig. And you do it. What do you do?
I do the ritual. Ano yun? Ipiprick ko yung finger ko, di ba? Oo, yun. And then, I have to recite the same, yung ni-recite niya kanina.
Yes, but you remember this naman eh. You've
Okay.
read of this. Siyempre, part na ng training mo yan. You were informed of by ina to how to recite the prayer or the pledge. And he mixes the ink with the needle, and he starts to prick your arm with a symbol, and it is a symbol of your tribe. Eventually, the night wears on, and he informs you more of the incident of what's happening in incidents that's happening in Manila. We now can roll. It is already 2 o'clock. Can we end around 2:30? Okay lang.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Roll roll okay, you can roll sensitive. No, sensitive, empath. Okay. And you can roll investigate a mystery. You roll empath to determine parang to give your bit of your question some guidance.
Okay. Investigate.
Empath muna.
Empath muna. Okay. 10.
Okay, uh, okay. It says here you gain a clear impression of their current emotional state and intentions. Um, si si Tito Felipe, he is worried for you um, because of your physical state and and because of the grave wounds that you have endured. Uh, he is he is open to tell you more about about what's happening. With any simple question, he'll answer it immediately, uh, because he's that anxious. Just you have to push a little bit more.
Si Tito Felipe.
Oo, si Tito Felipe. Si Ulan, she's angry. So, she can give you an alternative answer to what si Tito Felipe would answer you right now.
Ano nang nangyayari sa Manila? Ba't di pa tayo bumalik?
Did you roll investigate a mystery na? Not yet.
Ayaw pala. 11.
Okay, 11. You have 2 general questions or 1 specific question.
Yung one specific question
Now,
na lang.
yes. Because you got a 10 with empath, okay, it says here take +1 forward when acting on this knowledge. Okay, so based on your question, you get a what? 11. What did you get? You got an 11. Okay. Kasi okay. A 11. Okay. Wait lang ha. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. If you use the knowledge that you know about Tito Felipe, is worried about you, he'll be honest, or with the fact that Ulan is completely angry right now and she can offer you an alternative opinion and alternative information based on her anger. Okay? You get a 12 in investigate a mystery. But
Okay.
If you do not, here's if you do not pull on those strings, you only get an 11.
Okay.
Okay, gets mo?
But if gets ko na. Kung baga, if I go with the path na you provided, which is either Felipe's concern or yung anger ni Ulan, I get a +1.
Yes.
But if I go on a different path, it's just 11.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go with yung syempre yung +1. Either of the two. Siguro doon na lang ako kay Tito Felipe. Ngayon ko lang nakitang parang may care itong si Tito Felipe.
May?
Baga ngayon ko lang nakitang may genuine talagang yung may pagkikare talaga.
Okay. True. So, sino na ba? Roll. Ask your questions. I'm sorry.
Okay, ayun nga.
You have, what are you using? A general question? A specific one?
Na lang, specific na lang.
So, okay. So, you now have, go ahead. Ask the question.
Tawag na doon. Wait.
Yeah. It's a little bit hard because you're
Kasi,
you're pulling on that string eh. You're pulling on that string, so it has to be based on that para you get a 12. If you don't want to if it's hard for you to pull on it, you can just ask your general questions. You just can get an 11. But on 11, you can still get one specific question. So
pero
you know the dilemma because you rolled a 10 on
pero
empath.
kasi iba pa rin yung iba pa rin kasi yung impact ng
May emotion.
Oo, may emotion na concern si ganito, tapos ito naman on impulse na she's angry, so may different information that might come out.
Yes.
Ayun. So, teka, nasa ano pa rin ba kami? Nasa sitio pa rin ba kami? Or nakabalik na kami sa tribe village?
Let's say
Or
nasa Baguio na kayo.
Baguio na.
Nasa Baguio na kayo.
Okay. Sige. Tito Felipe, ngayong parte na ako ng kapatiran or ng brotherhood. Isa na akong miyembro. Tatanungin ko ulit to. Anong pwede nating gawin para mailigtas sila?
Specific question to, no?
Specific question na.
But how does this pull on his worry?
Ay, oo nga, no?
Dagdagan mo yung question mo.
Okay. So,
parang,
yun nga, kasi parang yung kumbaga parang hindi, may mga bagay na tinatago sila kasi kumbaga parang hindi pa ako full-fledged. I think yun yung isa sa mga dahilan kaya hindi pa may mga information silang disclose sa akin. So, yun nga sinabi ko ngayong ngayong full-fledged, na ako, anak ni Lumawi. Actually, yun pala yung tawag sa mga nila, yung sa mga kapatiran ng Buntok Lumawig. Anak ni Lumawig pala tawag sa kanila. Ayun. So yun nga, going back dun sa question ko, yun yung tanong ko kasi kanina pa na parang kaya din ako nagsanay, hindi lang para hindi lang, kaya din ako pumayag dun sa na magsanay at saka sumama sa kanila, para hindi lang para masagot yung tanong ko, pero para makahanap ng way para
Lapit ka sa mic mo.
Ay, malapit na, medyo malapit.
Yan. Mas malakas na yung boses mo. Go.
Yun nga, yung purpose ko din kasi, kaya ako din tinanggap yung pagsubok, tsaka mga pagsubok, tsaka nag-ensayo, hindi lang para malaman yung katotohanan, kundi para, yun nga, maghanap ng way para maligtas yung kaibigan ko. Kasi, hindi ako totally galit kay Ralph, pero I think yun, nabanggit ko yun kanina, yung parang hindi ko sinasabing paano mapapatay or matatalo si Ralph, pero way na maligtas siya. Ngayong pabalik na kami, or parang fully equipped na ako, parang gano'n.
Okay.
So, ayun, yun yung way ng pagtatanong ko. Isang tanong lang siya
Okay.
Gusto kong malaman kung maililigtas pa yung kaibigan ko, si Ralph. Paano? Or parang ganun, paano ko maliligtas yung kaibigan ko? Ngayong nalagpasan ko na yung lahat ng pagsubok ng to.
He tells you about the three sisters.
Hey.
About this old souls. This group of tribe members na galing sa mga mangkukulam. Okay. And they were faith healers ng time Spaniards and Spanish regime, and they rebelled, and they became they rebelled against the regime by continuing the practice of their religion. But the friars, they considered them as witches, as part of a coven. And they destroyed and killed the 4 women. But ever since that time, there had been rumors, whispers, whispers that came from they were talked about, whispered about all over the Philippines, all over the kingdoms of the Philippine Islands. And we believe that there there has been a legend, the myth that uh, these three sisters became a they became the information. They had the power to tell you about everyone or anything, and uh, and we believe that the three sisters can transfer their souls to other vessels. That's why they had survived. So they're not actually mangkukulam. They're actually ghosts, souls of old gods that transfer themselves when the physical uh, body that they inhabit starts to grow old or unusable. Uh, they may be able to return your Lila's uh, Lila's soul, but uh, they they are the only ones who can return Lila back to his soul. But the only way we can be sure is to speak with them. Make them agree. Yun ang sabi ni ano to. Sabi ni Tito Felipe. He finally tells you that you are now fully healed, and you've been waiting for information on Ralph and his on the location of Ralph. It's taken a few days, but Tito Felipe finally calls you on your phone and tells you that Ralph will be at this address. And will be at this address. Here. This building. He will be there. Come as quickly as you can. And you see Ulap. You see Ulan and Apoy. They tell you, so ano? Tara. You find you three are in front of this three pieces, three monster machines of a motorcycle, of motorcycles. around 600 cc of pure metal and speed. You put on your helmets and you start speeding towards Manila. Teka lang ah.
Parang kubaw to ah. Ay, nakaka-refresh yung background music.
So, we find up yun ano to, yun mic mo. Yung mic mo, tinatamaan ng
Okay.
electric fan. Yan. Okay. So you're greeted by you're riding your motorcycles. You are directed by ways up a through one of the most busiest thoroughfares in Manila, EDSA and Makati. And it is around early in the morning, pero traffic pa rin. You're over a you're now on top of the top of a bridge overlooking the building that you have to go to, maybe a kilometer away. As you sit there, you feel the engine between your legs. Parang nanginginig yung kamay mo. Hindi mo alam kung yung pagod dun sa biyahe or the wound that is still a little bit fresh, or the feeling of something that's about to happen. Out in the distance, five maybe five vehicles in front of you. You see Maria walking through between the cars and finally jumping on one vehicle on its rooftop. And beside her, a human being suddenly transformed into one of the largest tikbalang you've ever seen. Another one is an aswang, almost the same aswang, same as the aswang you've seen before. It attacks. It attacks one vehicle and slices its hand through the face of the driver. And you see Maria point. And that ends our game session for tonight. Thank you for playing Part 4, Chapter 3, The Past. Musta?
Ala ka. Bakit yun?
How are you? Did you enjoy the game? Nagustuhan mo ba yung mga... is there anything you want to discuss?
Ayun.
Lapit ka ng konti sa mic. Hindi kita narinig.
So, grabe, ang daming nangyari. Ang daming kailangan i-digest sa nangyari. So, ewan ko, siguro may nakalimutan lang ako itanong. Yung tungkol kay Gian. Hindi ko rin alam kasi kung may access sila sa information. Yung 3 sisters sila pero may nakita akong picture, 4 sila. Parang ganun. Hindi ko siguro dapat, isa yun sa mga tanong ko pero kasi parang ang limited din ng yung roles ko nga din kasi.
Pero sinabi niya na to, pero may nabanggit si Tito Felipe about them, di ba?
Oo, meron na old souls sila and their sisters na yun nga na reincarnate parang nagpapalipat-lipat sila whenever nagpe-perish yung physical appearance.
Oo.
Physical body.
Oo. Pero he mentioned 4 sisters. And then after they died, he now only mentions 3 sisters.
Oo. Hindi ko na siguro na-miss ko yun. Pero yun, isa yun sa mga mystery din na gusto kong malaman. Kasi nga si Gian.
Bakit?
Wala. Curious lang ako.
Wala.
Wala lang. Hindi ko kasi alam kung friend or foe.
Friend or foe si Gian.
Oo. Kasi hindi ko napakinggan yung buong session kahapon.
Pero kamusta yung session to you?
Ang ganda. Hindi ko alam.
Thank you. That didn't go as well because it wouldn't go that well if you didn't play it that way.
Oo. Actually, ang parang gagawin ko sana is parang since emotional nga siya, parang mag-berserk na lang or si Iwo is he will go on killing spree once nakita niya yung killer ng father niya. Pero yun nga, may gut feeling kasi na bakit kailangan nilang itago kung ano or sino yung pumatay sa tatay ko. Yun yung question ko kanina di ba? So tinanong ko kung relevant pa siya sa mission. Sinabi naman nila hindi. Tapos yun nga, si Prinsipe Crisostomo pala siya. Ang balak ko pa man din is parang isisil ko siya doon sa cave and then eventually dadalhin ko si Lila doon. Pero parang hindi ko alam kung basta yung situation din kasi hindi siya ideal. Kasi nga parang yun yung dying wish niya na ayaw niyang malaman na buhay pa siya or something na ganun.
Okay.
Ang dramatic lang pero nun, dami ko pa gustong sabihin kay kumbaga gagawin ko pa sana siya kung pwedeng maging ally or he can go back to his family. Pero since ganun na ngayong kalagayan niya, baka kasi may outside forces pa na kumokontrol sa kanya or maybe it's just yung being danag kasi na part niya is uncontrollable din para sa kanya.
Pwede.
So, ayun. Basta ang ganda ng session and dami kong natutunan. Dami kong information na iti-take. Excited na ako magkwento sa sa group chat.
Eto na si Laum, are you still there? Yan ka pa ba, Laum? Wala na ata si Laum.
Yeah.
Wala.
Oy, ayun. Natapos pa ba?
Oo.
Tapos pa.
Ito
So,
pala yung parang insignia na yung tatak namin tapos si Apoy. Tama ba kung ito yung siya? Sa Super Ingo to eh.
sino to? Si Apoy. Ah, si Derek Raff. Si
Oo.
Gag. Si Machete. Grabe naman to. Si Ate Tala. Wow. Grabe naman. Oh, si Mayumi din. Oh, si Laylay
Bumuo si
din. Grabe naman to. Mga girls na to. Okay. So,
Tapos na-imagine ko ito yung parang village.
um, oh, parang ganyan. Nice. So, ayun. We found out a lot today with uh, we found out a lot today. And yeah, tama. Ano to? Si Iwo wala ng left ear.
Left ear.
Wala na siyang left ear.
Muntikan ako namatay kanina.
And
Stubborn eh.
ayun, marami ka rin na uncover.
Oo.
Marami ka
Ang
na
daming
uncover.
din, ang dami na ding na questions na answer.
Pero more the answer once a question is answered, there's always another question.
Oo nga eh.
That's it. Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you for
Thank
playing.
you din.
Thank you very much for an awesome session. Thanks, Pat, for listening in. So we'll schedule maybe a week after.
Okay.
Week after. 'Cause,
Basta sana Friday or Saturday.
sige, basta schedule tayo. Most probably gawin na lang natin ng Saturday. Pat,
Mm-mm.
ano ka, 'di ba work mo sa umaga na lang?
Yung ano ko ba, yung meetings ko?
Oo.
Usually ano na lang, mornings ng Monday. Kaya kung Saturday, pwede na ako maglaro ng Saturday.
Um, we'll ask si Raymond kung pwede siya Sabado naman. Maybe next week. Kasi next week, meron naman akong session for all girls.
Okay. Pwede naman ngayon na, the joke.
Hindi wala si Raymond eh.
Ay, oo nga pala.
Plus,
Tulog
pagbigyan
na
nyo
ata.
naman ako, napagod din naman ako, no?
Ay, oo pala.
Oo, 3 games yan, linaro natin sabay, sunod-sunod. Kamusta naman? Did you, na-enjoy mo ba, Peter, na mag-isa maglaro? Matagal din tayo naglaro eh, oh.
Oo, 9
And-
to 2:30.
Oo. And you, Patrick, nag-enjoy ka din ba na solo? First time mo mag-solo eh.
Masaya din.
Na, established na kasi yung characters. So marami na rin.
Mm-mm.
Nung college ako, palagi namin ginagawa yung ganito, yung solo. Kasi palagi nasa classroom, nasa class. So, yung isa, kung nasa class, isa-solo nyo yung isang game. Tapos, pag nagsama-sama na ulit, sama-sama na ulit yung sa game. Ayan, sarap maglaro ng college eh. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for playing. I'll see you next week. And always take care.
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye-bye. Good night.
you. You guys,
Bye.
take care.
Okay. So, that's our game for tonight. We just finished part 4, chapter 3, the past with Iwo. That was a nice investigation and action-filled session. So I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed every one of the sessions that we played for this one-on-one. So next week will be um, part 4, chapter 5. No, uh, and then uh, we will end it at part 4, chapter 6. End na yun. End na yun ng game. And let's see what happens. But thank you very much for everybody who stayed to watch. And